really need this one, as they need the victory to make playoffs. That cannot be overstated. This is important. This is the most important game of their season.
Yeah, it's going to determine whether or not they continue to play this this season 3, and that's going to be a lot of pressure. But it is science. A lot of teams thrive in that pressure cooker, and Legion have really been showing their stuff. XL2 Academy, they can't get too comfortable now off of their win on Hollywood. A very scrappy battle, so we want to look to this team again to go back to those controlled, good plays. TC sticking with that Reinhardt. Sometimes we see a defensive Winston or an attacking Winston, but it looks like both teams are of the same mind. They're going to be going with that Reinhardt Goats. No, Rolf pausing just for a little bit. It's not to rest his legs. Zenyatta floats.
What do you call it? Is it a herd of goats?
A herd of goats?
A
A gaggle of goats?
Maybe, but
A
we're
murder of goats.
gonna see a huge gaggle of goats right now on both sides. XL2 Academy on the defensive side. They know what they're looking at with Gladiators Legion as they drop down onto at the low ground. And we hear those amped ups happening. That means there's some action going on as Panker is gonna find Mangachu, and Panker would go back to spawn. We've seen these Briggs fall early and the rest of the team fall right after, and XL2's health bar is really struggling to stay ahead of half right now. But Gladiators Legion on the objective already. XL2 flanking from the high ground. They are going to try to do this defense one more at a time. The Reinhardt charge each other. That's going to be a big deal for Gladiators Legion, actually, as that's going to give them a little bit more of an opportunity to take up shot on the objective so far, especially with Goliath going down and so close to that Transcendence. XL2 Academy, again, struggling to stay healthy right now. Gladiators Legion just need to clean it up, and they've had a hard time doing that.
Oh, but it's going to be no problem now. There's one pesky Lucio in the back, 80-80ing for his life. Jur will eventually go down, but you're right, Mangachu, we know this player to be a very aggressive Brigitte, and this time around did not serve XL2 well. You lose an early member like that, and all you can do is dance around the payload. One reason that they weren't fully committing to the fight is certainly their health bars, but another is, you know, you just got to keep that that objective alive while putting yourself at minimal risk.
Oh, the Earthshatter going to get the kill onto TC, so this is 6v5 at the objective right now here on point B. So this is a numbers advantage for Gladiators Legion, and the Transcendence has been popped from XL2 Academy. So the last thing they have is that Graviton Surge, as Mangachu is going to go down first once again. That was bad news on point A. It could be bad news on point B as well, as Lodge is going to throw out that Graviton Surge. Jur getting that sound barrier going out as well. The ultimates have all been used. 2 left, 1 on each side. Fuchs with that sound barrier could save Gladiators Legion's push here, but with only 4 members in the spawn advantage for XL2 Academy, it's going to be very hard for Gladiators Legion to make any progress on point.
Ooh, and a little bit of tactical crouching. All right, there we're certainly turning up the heat in more than one way. XL2 Academy really trying to put their foot down here. We are not going to take us unawares once again. And TT ready with that Earth Shatter. Mangachu now going to be applying a little bit of that defensive buffer to his team rather than going out getting picked early. That is definitely not the way to a great win here. Gladiators Legion trying their darndest. They do have that sound barrier, like you said, Boo, but I'm not sure they want to expend it. They do.
Well, they expended it because Far was actually very, very low. So if they wanted Far to do anything during this fight, they had to use it. Sound barrier not going to be enough as Far goes down first, and the rest of Gladiators Legion will follow. XL2 Academy, clean defense there.
Yeah, it was probably a lost fight for Gladiators Legion regardless. They didn't really have any ultimates to speak of for that push, and they successfully baited almost everything out from XL2. However, that does mean that, you know, the Transcendence is just now about to come online in a few seconds. XL2 will still have a few of those tools, but Gladiators Legion have played a very disciplined game thus far. Kind of a new look for this team.
And so TT, you know, popping up shop in the front with that shield. Oh, and he's going to shield bash. And the Earthshatter is going to connect onto Logix, but TT somehow was able to stay up on his feet. Gods, though, getting the first opening kill, but that's not going to be enough to take the point against XL2 Academy, particularly since the support ultimates are going to be there. Goliath's Transcendence is going to save XL2 Academy, other than, oh, there's 1 tick been taken already from Gladiators Legion, but TT with the kill onto Rolf. They will be taking this one back. Gladiators Legion having a hard time getting anything more from that 1 tick as Booyah once again getting some self-destruct kills. Not, you know, 2's not as big as 4, but it's still pretty effective.
Yeah, exactly. You can't hit a home run every single time. My question is, you know, was that self-destruct necessary in that last fight? I think XL2 Academy could have won it out, you know, just the old-fashioned way. But when you're on the defense with such a team against such a team as Legion, safe is, you know, usually better than sorry. They will still at least have that Earth Shatter, but Legion now coming in with 3 ultimates of their own. We've seen that Shatter Bomb combo be very effective for the other team before. Can Panker line something up? Nope. God's just going to lob it out.
Yeah, God's did the Kobe bomb, and they've got nothing but air there. Dalton, though, going to get the first kill. This is a huge opening for Gladiators Legion, but the Earthshatter coming. XL2 Academy can't even things up, and that's exactly what we're going to see as 2 kills coming both sides. Goliath going to throw that trance out. XL2 Academy, TT, man, already at 61% on another Earthshatter as well.
TT as well as Wooyang. Wow, what a beautiful play right there. It was certainly risky. And Gladiators Legion looking really strong, but XL2 threw in that Earthshatter. He saw the window of opportunity and he took it. And kudos to Wooyang right there. You saw the speed at which Legion melted into the ground, and a lot of that was because of that D.Va able to reposition herself so quickly, apply that concentrated damage, cut down that time to kill. And XL2 Academy, they've whittled this time bank down now to 2 minutes and 45 seconds.
And they also have an ultimate economy advantage with that time bank, so they're going to be ahead here for a very long time. Gladiators Legion might not get another really great look until the end of the round, but the Graviton Surge will open things up for XL2. Is that going to be all that they need? Yes, it is. 1 ult expended. Gladiators Legion now will be coming back with 5.
Yeah, but this is actually not terrible news for Legion either. They will have the superior ultimate to bank. They've been, lulling maybe XL2 into a feeling of comfort, security, but you can never drop your guard against this Legion team who has gotten stronger and stronger with every iteration. And XL2 right now, Logix, he's just trying to, work back up to the grab. More likely, make sure that he doesn't lose any charge.
Yeah, Gods did lose that charge, having to switch to Roadhog and then back to D.Va to get that neck back. So XL2 Academy, 3 ultimates on their side. Gladiators Legion will have that 5, but anything can happen because the Sound Barrier is available for XL2, and the way that these Zenyatta's play, that Transcendence will be available as well. The Earthshatter coming from Panker is not going to be enough. As far as going to go down first, so this is 6v5 for XL2 at an ultimate disadvantage. So they will be winning this fight in the end. Dalton going to be going back to spawn, while Gladiators Legion are getting these kills. The numbers are still for XL2 Academy, and again, this is Assault, so those respawns are going to be XL2's favor. Gladiators Legion need to reset.
If you're an attacking team, you need to get 3 kills maybe for every 1 kill that the attacker or that the defenders do because of that advantage. And oh, look at Wooyang's kill streak, 20 kills. This guy is insane. Opened things up in that last fight with a naked D.Va bomb, not something that we see all the time these days. And XL2 Academy continue their stranglehold here on Legion's attack. They've had tools so often, this attacking team, but they just haven't been able to string them together in success.
And so XL2 Academy walking into this defense with 2 ultimates. Gladiators Legion have the 3, but they do have 2 support ultimates. Gladiators Legion now, Panker's shield gets very, very low. Going to have to be a little aggressive. The particle barrier is going to allow him to do just that. As Negative going to be the first to fall for XL2 Academy. The Earthshatter from TT going to find value once again. A double charge kill. When this guy is popping off, XL2 Academy knows that they're going to be ahead.
Yeah, it looked like Legion might have been able to take down TT. He was so far away from the rest of his team, but a good ally bubble from Logix kept that Reinhardt alive. And when he saw that opportunity once again, this guy is a playmaker. Legion on the stairs, unawares, caught him on the flank with that shatter, and it was game over. Anytime you get 2 support kills with a single charge, that's a golden day for Ryan.
Golden indeed. Gladiators Legion looking for a golden attack here with 10 seconds left. They were able to take 1 and about a quarter of a tick, so that's not nothing. XL2 Academy, they're going to drop that Graviton Surge right on the wall. Going to knock everyone in Gladiators Legion on it. Self-destruct in the back. Going to get Gods before he's able to remech, but Gods is going to get a little bit more value out of that self-destruct. The trades are happening, so there's actually just a 1-member advantage for Gladiators Legion here on the last of the point. 3 members left for XL2. No ultimates for them. No ultimates for Gladiators Legion. So this is just regular left click and WASD Overwatch. Dalton, though, going to try to get Wooyang off of that mech. He has a ton of energy. He's that DPS, but Dalton's going to go down. XL2 Academy looking like they're going to pull this defense out right from under Gladiators Legion's feet. Logic's getting 2 kills there. That's going to prove to me that XL2 Academy will have defended here, but Gladiators Legion missed opportunity there at the end.
Ooh, we saw this earlier today. Assault, one of the teams not finishing out the actual entirety of the map. Very rare these days. And XL2, to their credit, what an incredible hold right there. Legion, they tried their absolute darndest, but unfortunately they just weren't quite able to clean off their plates. We actually saw Dalton against Logix head-to-head, and Logix was so incredibly low. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to finish him off with that nade before Logix turned that corner. The Zarya lived. We can never really say what might have happened if he had died, hadn't gotten any healing, and rejoined the fight for the defense. But Legion right now looking a little bit frayed at the edges. They look very strong, very certain and confident. early on in control. But now as we head into Assault, maybe that fatigue starting to come in a little bit. They're not playing quite as clean.
Well, XL2 Academy, they're playing cleaner, right? So that could actually be it. Gladiators need to be playing exactly the same, right? But XL2 Academy with TT popping off there like that, I don't think any team would have had an opportunity at that point.
Oh no, it is a very dangerous thing to have a confident Reinhardt across the map staring you down, right? Because if he has that resource, if he believes that he can go in aggressive and his team's going to have his back, there's very little, almost nothing you can do besides mouse to even harder in the face of his aggression. And that's oftentimes the, where we see Panker in that head-to-head across that aisle. So XL2 Academy have set themselves a really glorious win condition. 1 point and 1 tick.
Glorious. What a great word. XL2 Academy know what they gotta do, and they have finished Lunar Horizon Colony in the past. Gladiators Legion, they might be kicking themselves in the behind after not completing that map. XL2 Academy gonna leave with a couple characters that we're not used to seeing. TT on the Hammond, they're all gonna come back though, because they're looking at goats on the other side. Sometimes, they're assuming that the Orisa comp might be what they're seeing, right?
Yeah.
And they have an opportunity to play those characters. They scouted, they come back, they invest in the time instead.
Yeah, it's not about taking every fight that presents itself, but the ones you feel you can win, and this Mirror Goat composition is a tried and true, not just for XL2, but for everybody here in Overwatch. So there's going to be a little bit of a meandering, moseying up the stairs, and no, it's a debate! The speed boost comes in, XL2 pressuring the objective.
Oh my goodness, Gladiators Legion, though, gonna get the first kill on it to Manga Juice. So XL2 Academy, trying some sneaky business that didn't work out, but Gladiators Legion on their tippy toes right now. They've reacted fast, but are they gonna be able to maintain?
Yeah, consistency is going to be the name of the game here, but a beautiful pivot from Legion. They did not take the bait. XL2 Academy leaving behind a couple of members. Maybe they didn't read the playbook or got a little bit mixed up on the page, but there will be more good pushes in XL2's future here. Force Legion to get onto the objective. You just take up camp on that space immediately. Mangachu cannot fall early though. That was what caused the defense the first round to crumble for XL2, so you gotta be keeping your Brigitte safe.
Well, the ultimate disadvantage could be bigger for XL2 Academy. They're actually pretty even, particularly the supports. Mangachu falling behind Gladiators Legion's far, and Logic's catching up to Dalton. So things are pretty even right now for this engagement from XL2 Academy. We do finally see it as Booyah, dropped him down. That was a little scary right there. Almost took some free damage and gave ult charge to Gladiators Legion. He's going to rejoin the rest of his team on the high ground, and they're just jostling for position once again. You're seeing the speed come into play. They're going to try to do it from the right side. Gladiators Legion, though, ready for this as XL2 Academy unable to touch the point so far. 2 minutes and 5 seconds left on the clock to capture point A as they finally do make it onto the point. A great pin on too far is going to open things up for XL2 Academy. The Transcendence, though, going to slow their roll just a little bit more. But Gladiators Legion coming up on some ultimates. Now they have to decide, are we going to invest? The answer is no. XL2 Academy will be taking point A. And remember, they only need to take a tick and a quarter of point B.
It is not a lot of room for Legion to play with on the defense. XL2 look ready to take Horizon Lunar Colony, but never say die. We've seen some crazier things. I will be very concerned about that support ultimate bank, though. Pooks is going to be the closest one to that sound barrier. He's still quite a ways off. XL2 debating, waiting patiently for the perfect engage. No out-and-out aggression that time around. They focused down Panker's shield so hard. The moment it broke, that Reinhardt was under attack. A beautiful pin kill from TT just punctuated that fight win. And now they're looking to snowball onto B.
XL2 Academy have everything they need. They literally have everything. But Gladiators Legion, though, going to get the kills first. But the good news for XL2 Academy is that this is a mark of an experienced team. Look at those check marks. All of them still available.
The cold, frosty six-pack XL2 are hanging onto right now, and Legion know it. They got to be playing a little bit further back. It's the perfect mixture of passivity and aggression. It's a really hard line to draw. Far, though, will have that rally provide a little bit extra early buffer here for Legion as they wait for that grab to come online or that Transcendence.
So Logix does have the Graviton Surge, and the rally is going to be the first thing that they use. Graviton Surge now from Logix going to grab a couple members of Gladiators Legion. Self-destruct could have been valuable. The pin was there, but the particle bubbles for Gladiators Legion were there as well. Shield bash on into Panker, not going to get anything done as well. XL2 Academy and Gladiators Legion going to use Transcendences on both sides. A little bit more value for Gladiators Legion. The second one always gets a little bit more value. TT taken very, very low. Dalton, really high energy right now. The DPS on that is huge. The Gladiators Legion will be on this defense a little bit longer. making sure that 6 ultimates was not going to be enough for XL2 Academy to take the second point.
No, they might need 8, 10, who knows, because they used all 6 in the duration of that fight. Logic's, though, going to be very close to his very next Graviton Surge. Gladiators Legion doing really well, focusing down the weakest targets of XL2 when they present themselves. Mangachu the first one to fall, and then TT folded right after, as we've come to expect here. As a Reinhardt, you can't, there's no Ana on the field, so all this healing that comes is going to be very over time. You can't wait until you're at 3rd health to shield up, because by that time you're going to be dead.
Oh, Feng, you're going to charge TT as well. The only burst healing you have is the armor pack from your Brigitte, and that's it. That's got a pretty long cooldown. Megachu going to get a constellation prize kill on it to a Panker, but they're already down members. XL2, though, getting close to another 6 ultimate fun packs. Gladiators Legion, some of their own. Far did use that rally. Poog's close to that sound barrier.
Yeah, it's a very back and forth between these two teams. A lot more evenly matched than we might have expected coming into today's series. But XL2 Academy not taking anything for granted, and the same can be said for Legion. They need to go back to their roots again, just play that disciplined Overwatch. We may be looking for that grab bomb combination for XL2 to try and blow things open.
They were able to weather the storm last time, but is a second storm of brewing. The Graviton Surge from Logic is going to start this fight off. The self-destruct is in the back line. The shield is there. It's nothing going to happen with that self-destruct. Ooh, y'all, not getting any value out of that. And Megachu, look how aggressive he is. Ooh, the Earth Shatter, though, is going to be exactly what they need, as they're going to get 3 kills to start this off on the second engagement of this fight. Gladiators Legion going to use that sound barrier to maintain any sort of presence on to the point. At least they've got the Diva. We got Swans coming back as well. No ticks taken from XL2 just yet, but with that team that can kill Onto Dalton, XL2 Academy looking very, very good. They got that 1 tick. Will they be able to finish things off? Someone is contesting right now, but not for long, as XL2 Academy will win this will win this in the end and move up 2-1 in the map score.
Yeah, 2-1 on the map score as well, on the Horizon Lunar Colony scoreboard as well.
It's a lesson in just commit, folks.
Yes.
Right, just commit, right?
Just go for it.
Yeah.
Hey, and wow, I mean, we've been talking about TT constantly. He is, fairly new to our eyes, so we are quite excited, but who says Reinhardt doesn't have any long distance damage? Love that. Threw out the Fire Strike about face, put up the shield, block that self-destruct from Gods, and Legion, again, they were working with quite a good hand, but unfortunately it just didn't fall the way they would have liked. It's not just about having the tools, about using the right ones in the right times. You don't want to be sewing with, a monkey wrench.
That would be very difficult. I don't know how that would look.
Weird.
Yeah, that would take a lot more effort. But now that we're here, 2-1 XL2 Academy going into our escort map ahead. Team Envy feeling pretty good right now as well, because I just want to remind everyone one more time, because no one can forget during this match that Gladiators Legion need to win this in order to make it to playoffs in about a week, and then Team Envy make it in if Gladiators Legion do fall against XL2. But the thing about Gladiators Legion is they matched XL2. They were better than XL2 at times in the first half. However, here in Lunar Horizon Colony, searching for that same kind of magic.
Yeah, and Assault is a map type that's very distinct from all the rest. We saw Legion with their win on Control. It's very brawly. There's less of those set fights, so that may be where they're going to find their mojo. Hey, who you never quite know. We could see some new picks coming out. Gods has been on that Winston in the past with a double main tank look. And so as we head to Dorado, our next map, you definitely could leverage that Winston, so a little bit of Discord. The Primal Rage always going to be good at batting people into the paths of, wary self-destructs. But yeah, Legion, they gotta dig deep now, because their tournament lives are staring them in the face. If they lose this and give away the series to XL2, that will be where the buck stops.
Well, we might see something fun on Dorado as well, which is the Igloo. We have a Mei player on one of these sides. Mangachu does like playing that Mei, and I love the stall tactics involved in the Igloo competition. We'll talk about that if we see it. But moving on to Dorado, both teams, played moderately well on Hollywood. There was a lot of give and take. It wasn't very consistent on both sides, but it wasn't quite happening at the same time, right? Gladiators Legion was playing well, and then XL2 was playing well, and in the end, XL2 were playing better at the very end of Hollywood, and they took it. Are we going to see something similar here? Is it going to be that push and pull that we saw in Hollywood, or is it going to be closer to Lunar Horizon Colony?
I would say there's probably going to be a lot of yo-yoing and seesawing in terms of performance. A lot of Mirror Goats is going to be decided by who has the better ultimate bank, but as we saw in that last fight on Lunar Colony, it's not always the case. The ultimates do not tell the full story. As we remember, harkening back to Hollywood, it actually was, a speed boost. Legion tried to go in very aggressive on their defense. So depending on where those choices are made, the thing with Escort and Hybrid is it's a very long map. There's tons of times to, make your plans and then second guess them.
You make plans to break plans, right?
Yeah, yep. Make plans to break plans. You never quite know what may happen. I am, though, expecting a lot of back and forth because XL2, coming back into their own, but Legion on the attack here, this is when they could, get something crazy going.
So XL2 Academy on that defense, running a very familiar composition. It's that herd of goats, gaggle of goats, murder of goats, pod of goats. I think there's more there as well. Gladiators Legion, though, we're not going to see this one character on Dalton, but we will be seeing the mirror comp again. And like I always say, I like the fact that everyone's on even footing with this goats composition meta. It's really about skill and communication, and the better team usually wins in that situation. XL2 Academy going to try this defense out first, and I love that people are holding way sooner on Dorado and other escort maps than previously, but now we're going to see our first bit of action as Dalton going to throw some damage into the backline with those grenades. Mangachu being very, very aggressive. Are they going to take advantage of that Booyah as well? And the backline of the Gladiators Legion team, XL2 Academy, and look at the different, TZ, look at the difference there with the Earthshatter charge. 20% more for XL2 Academy. That's pretty good for that defensive side. So their resources coming into this engagement on the archway are going to be a little better.
They're going to be slightly ahead, but they can't let that aggression get the better of them. Wuyao does toot back to the rest of his team. Legion, making pretty easy pathway here. XL2 choosing to take the fight past the archway. Of course, there's always the option to suddenly speed boost out, take Legion off guard, but it doesn't look like they were probably going to be seeing a fight in that courtyard. No, we have XL2 trying to reclaim the high ground.
That's actually a really good move from Jur there, knocking a lot of Gladiators Legion onto the low ground, and XL2 Academy, taking up a pretty good position here as Gladiators Legion have to funnel into XL2 Academy, giving them a little bit more vacancy. The Earthshatter is going to come in, the Transcendence is going to happen as well as the Graviton Surge for Gladiators Legion. Sound area investment as well. So this is the stock market of ultimates, my friends. We're buying and trading and selling, and we're going to buy that Hoops depth there with that self-destruct. God's going to get demeched as well. CC trying to maintain his presence into that front line. However, the shield does need to recharge, but it looks like XL2 Academy are going to win this defense in the end. And I have to say, if it's a long fight, I'm going to bet on XL2 Academy.
Oh yeah, not only that veteran decision-making, but, really good staging right there. Legion not expecting to take a fight there on the high ground, but you can't let XL2 run roughshod over you. They had to meet them. Pooks tried to use that sound barrier to go in aggressive, but XL2 Academy, again, waiting patiently. They only use Logic's grab in response to that sound barrier, waste that crucial ultimate before responding with their own sound barrier, pushing through, and then cleaning up those kills.
Gladiators Legion going to be looking for a good self-destruct. They need some other ultimates to happen. Actually, no, they're going to go ahead and try to do it the old-fashioned way. Going to throw it out, get them a little bit more distance on the payload. So it's zoning ult. XL2 Academy going to lose their mech, but Dalton's going to lose his life first off in this fight. The Transcendence coming out from Gladiators Legion. XL2 is going to have one of their own here in just a second. Will they be using it? No, because Dalton still has that Graviton Surge, but we all going down. Gladiators Legion definitely have an opening.
Yeah, they have an opening and tons of armor courtesy of Far as well. They're trying to push this payload past the mountain, but no, Logix meets them with that Graviton Surge. Earthshatter thrown in by Panker, not going to be doing much good.
And TC's going to take advantage of the lack of cooldowns. TC taking Panker down as well as Rolf. Logic's high energy as well. So XL2 Academy looking strong on this defense.
Yeah, just a little bit of a wave, a little nod from our Sir Logix right there. Legion looking really strong, but XL2s were in control that entire time, even if they weren't letting their faces show them in this poker battle of ultimates. However, now will Legion know that they're fainting? Jur does not yet have that sound barrier, so Dalton's grab may well land.
He's going to be very, very close. The Earthshatter is another good counter as well. Self-destruct going to be online for XL2 Academy. The Earthshatter is going to go down. Nothing to it. Graviton Surge now for Gladiators Legion will be countered by that sound barrier. Self-destruct, though, will be finding Rolf in the back line. And if Rolf falls, when really anyone in this Ghost composition falls, the rest will fall as well. As XL2 Academy not giving up any more distance to Gladiators Legion.
The saying, there is no I in team, has never really held quite as true as here in GOATS. Gladiators Legion really do need their full 6. If they had a 7th player, they'd be calling him up here because there's only 6 seconds left.
So that triple tank, triple support, you know, we know exactly what they need to do. Gladiators Legion need to try to get this first point and set themselves up for some success. XL2 Academy, though, making sure that they can pull that success right away from them. Anchor, though, in the backline on that Hammond. Is it going to be effective using that shield already? Bar going down. Means bad news for Gladiators Legion. Self-destruct from a God's not going to get anything as well. Going to give them a little bit of time, though, to regroup and talk. XL2 Academy, though, going to take that time again right away from them as God's going to get D-necked immediately. Self-destruct out from XL2 Academy will be the nail in the coffin. XL2 Academy do stop Gladiators Legion right at the archway.
Ooh, and this is very dangerous territory for Legion right here. That means they only have that distance to give. They can't even rely on jockeying behind the fountain in order to extend their defense. This is where the payload stops. If XL2 Academy finishes out Dorado to that point, they will be knocking Legion out of contention. Team Envy their smile is gonna be even bigger. So just really unlucky stuff right there. Poor Pooks, he's trying to stall. He thinks that he's gonna find solace on the high ground, but there's a Wooyall right there waiting to pew,
No
pew.
solace to be found.
No solace to be found.
No solace allowed.
I feel like Edgar Allan Poe probably wrote a poem, No Solace to be Found.
Man, what a sad person.
Yeah.
You know, and honestly, he deserved it too. Like, his life kind of sucked.
Oh no.
No, like he didn't deserve to be sad. That's not. that is not what I meant.
Spicy takes.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. His life just like wasn't awesome, and so I would have been sad. I'm just gonna stop. XL2 Academy looking good on this attacking side. They know what
their
to do.
life's feeling pretty good
Yeah,
right now,
definitely
right?
not Edgar Allan Poe.
No, it is the opposite of the Poe-esque because they can actually see the finish line. Anytime you're running that race and you know, like, oh, just 2 more steps and I'll make it. And that golden box of victory is beckoning to XL2 Academy right now, and Legion probably going to try and throw a blanket over that or something because they do not have a lot of distance to give. They're not going to be, you know, pulling out any fancy schmancy weird cheese tricks. It's going to be goats once again. XL2, you never quite know. It looks like they're probably just going to take a peek and then swap back to their own comp too. But if I were Legion, I would go for a very aggressive camp right here. Even if you lose that first fight, maybe, just maybe, you can get a second touch. But if you choose to hold further back, 1 shot is all you got.
You have to commit. When you commit, you have to give it 100%. There is no 80% commitment here.
There's no prize for
nothing.
most improved.
Your playoff lives are on the line, and unfortunately, Gladiators Legion don't have a lot of line to work with. XL2 Academy, they're gonna take that space. Gladiators Legion doing the latter of what you said and ceding that space.
Yep, and as we back off here, there's not going to be ultimates for a while now, but Logic's already very highly charged. Dalton matching him in Graviton Surge energy, so that's a little bit closer there. But Legion, as we see them backing off here, trying to see which is the best route of engagement. Dalton, getting, hurted a little bit by Wooyall, but the tanks of XL2 taking some damage. They have to wait just a little bit longer.
XL2 is on the other side of this equation on their defense, and so they know what they're doing and they know what not to do. As Gladiators Legion could not figure it out. Does XL2 have the answer to that question, though? Looks like they might, as TC does get stunned, but the protection is there with the particle barrier in that armor pack. He stayed pretty healthy throughout the entirety of that situation, and now we're seeing the kills come from XL2 Academy, and our friends at Team Envy are feeling quite good right now as Gladiators Legion struggling to stay on the field.
Yeah, but Rolf has that Transcendence. He's going to have it before Goliath. Dalton has that Graviton Surge as well, but it doesn't catch TC, who has the hammer. There, he lays it down. Charge not going to find anybody, but it's all going to be for naught regardless.
Oh, the Charge not finding anyone because of some disruption. You're getting a double kill there. Gladiators Legion are throwing themselves at the payload. Earthshatter will be getting a couple, but that is going to be the only positive from this Dorado round so far. XL2 Academy do take down Gladiators Legion, and you know what that means, Ham?
Dun, 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 dun.
Our playoffs are set, my friends. We'll show you those standings in just a second, but Gladiators Legion falling to XL2 Academy 3-1.
Oh no, they made things very interesting in the beginning of the series. They actually took control and then was really giving XL2 all they got on Hollywood, but unfortunately, their energy was sapped after halftime. They weren't quite able to get it together for that full series win, and so we will be unfortunately saying goodbye to our Legion friends.
Well, it shows the importance of halftime and talking to your coaches and talking to your team. It might only be 6 minutes, and by the time you get into the game, maybe 7 or 8, right? But what you talk about can bring you that victory later. It's like, hey, you guys are doing this, and now it's time to do something else. We have to do something differently. Whatever they talked about in XL2 just fixed almost all of the issues that we saw the first half.
Yeah, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and hoping for a different result. And we saw a definite moderation in the amount of aggression from TZ and to a lesser extent Mangachu, who still went down quite early in many of those fights. But hey, you know, you win some, you lose some, and XL2 will be taking the entire series, heading off into playoffs, padding that map differential off the backs of some good adjustments by their main tank.
Yeah, how do you feel? The first season is done for us as well as the last game of the regular season. You feeling good?
Yeah, oh no, could not feel better.
Because we get to get excited about something too now. You know what that is? It is playoffs that are coming up next week, and we do know exactly where everything is going because everything is over. We know what the standings are.
It will be playoffs starting on the 10th and then continuing into the 11th of January. And we take a look at the standings right here. XL2 Academy proudly on top with a +11. Second win right behind in the number 2 spot with that +6.
And then Energy Esports getting in with that 3rd seed, making sure of it by taking second win down. And then Team Evie sneaking in on the last possible moment, getting in on that 4th seed. Will be facing Fusion University, though, in their opening round.
Oh, I mean, Team Envy has been on the upward climb the entire season, and they've gotten better and better every time we look at them. So, hey, you never quite know. You give them like a week and a half, we'll see what happens. Fusion University, though, are still the kings. It's going to be a very tough ask for this Envy team, but really happy that we get to see them show their stuff once more.
I believe they've won 8 maps in a row. So it's, they're peaking at the right time. The last thing you want to do is peak too early or a little too late. Right now is exactly when you want to be doing your work.
I couldn't agree more, Boop.
And so now that we know what those standings look like, we can, look forward to what our playoffs are going to bring. We know that Fusion University are the favorites going in. Do you have any dark horse picks yourself?
I mean, I don't know if it's so much of a dark horse pick, but my heart is still owned by Second Wind. This Trials team really came in and surprised all of us during the season. And while they have been knocked down from their, first place within the groups, I still think they have the makings of greatness. Today was a little bit of the struggle again. New members coming into the team. We've seen, how that can affect your synergy, but I have faith that this team is going to do really well.
What about the team we just saw, XL2 Academy?
Oh, I mean, they're doing amazingly too. I think their play speaks for itself. Tizi has been an amazing addition to this team. Cloneman, of course, is also great. It's a question as to, who we're going to be seeing in the playoffs, but XL2, we know them to be the steady veterans, and they've proven it once again.
Who you got your money on? Who is it?
Who do I have my money? I
I
can't cast or curse them before the playoffs have even started, Boop. Do you know what you're asking? I do not display my powers as a caster lightly.
What would
So
Grandma
I will
say? What would Grandma say?
hold
What would Grandma
myself
say?
back. I don't know. Team Envy, gonna take everything. She always liked to bet, put all of her chips on like a single number and color.
Well, there's pressure